Hello, students. This is your favorite counselor, Mr. Brish. We're going to be talking today about some money management, about making SMART goals. I know we've done a lot of SMART goal stuff in terms of academics before, but we haven't really talked about it with financial planning or with money. So that's what we're going to end up doing today. So today we're going to talk a little bit about short-term, medium-term, long-term goals in general, and then specifically with financial planning and using our SMART sort of procedure. So for instance, if you were in this situation, you got $100, you maybe you got it for your birthday or Christmas or something like that. Maybe it's just your first paycheck from your job, right? What are you going to do this semester with that money? What are you going to do in the next 12 months with that money? What could you do a year from now with that money? Some short-term, some medium-term, some long-term financial goals. All right, so today we're going to talk about how your personal goals can be achieved, with respect to money and that sort of thing, and how you can write an effective financial goal. There's a hint, it's going to be like your other academic goals. And then we're going to also talk about how you prioritize things so that you can meet those financial goals. We kind of like this quote, if you shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. So even if you may not achieve every goal you ever set out to do, remember that setting goals and maybe planning in small increments for big long-term goals can only help. Even if you never actually meet the long-term goal, you've probably done a bunch of steps to meet up to it that have left you better off than you were before. So let's have a quick review of what it means to be a SMART goal. Remember, it's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant, it's time-bound. That's where you get the SMART from. All right, is the goal specific? It has to have exactly what needs to be accomplished, who's going to be involved, where it might take place, why you might want to accomplish this goal. For example, Mike needs to replace all 4 tires on his car because the treads are worn out. It's really up next is measurable. So how will you know when you've succeeded? Talking about Mike again and his car tires. They need car tires that have good traction in the snow, in rain, and that sort of thing. So he needs to find out how much the tires will cost. He needs to save the money to buy the tires, and then he has to schedule the appointment to replace the tires. All of those 3 things can be measured. Up next is attainable. Do you have or can you get the resources that you need? Is the goal a reasonable stretch for you? Or is it too far out of reach, or is it way too easy? And are the actions that you plan to take, are they going to actually bring you success? And so if we're talking about Mike again, he has some money saved. He's also working, so he can pay for the new tires. That's a good thing. And he can also compare the prices at the 3 businesses near his house to find out which one is the easiest to obtain. Relevancy is also important, right? Is it worthwhile for you at this moment to achieve this goal? Is it meaningful to you, or how meaningful is it when compared to other things in your life? Will it delay or prevent you from achieving a more important goal, or maybe it might help you achieve that more important goal? And you have to be willing to commit to it as well. So relevancy is really important in when we talk about goals. Now Mike thinks to himself, replacing his current really crappy tires for new tires will help on fuel economy, so it will save some money, and it will also reduce the risk of having a flat tire or getting in an accident in the snow, right? And of course, the T in our SMART is about time. You don't want to procrastinate, right? So you need a deadline for reaching your goal, right? When do you need to take action? What can you do today to further that action, right? If we're talking about Mike again, he wants to replace his tire soon, hopefully by the end of next month. So by the end of this week, he's got to request the 3 quotes from the 3 different tire companies in his area here, and then he's got to make a decision by the end of the month, make the appointments, get the tires all set and on the car. So let's talk about some specific goals and see if we can talk our way through, maybe giving some advice to Selena and Michael here about what might be some good changes they can make to make them SMART goals. So Selena's first goal is right here, saving $200 for a trip to the outlet mall. It's specific, $200, right? We know exactly what we're saving for. It's measurable. We could, yes, we've saved $200. No, we haven't saved $200. Hey, maybe we've saved more than $200. Is it achievable? If Selena's got a job, should be no problem, right? She should save up $200 in a specific amount of time if she sets it aside. Is it timely and relevant? I mean, that's where that's where we might need to do a little bit of editing here, right? So there's no time frame here. I don't know if the outlet mall is happening now, a month from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever the case is, right? And is it relevant? I don't know. I'm not Selena, so I don't know if the $200 could be better spent somewhere else. When Selena is making a goal for buying a new MP3 player, is it specific? Well, a little bit, I guess. We have some MP3 player, but we don't know how much the MP3 player costs. We don't know the time frame, right? We not totally sure like how we're gonna measure each individual step up into getting this MP3 player because we don't know how much it costs. So that would be where I would edit this one and see if I could figure out how much different MP3 players cost and maybe do some price comparisons and then see if it's relevant and set myself a time frame to do it. For Michael over here, think about what Michael might do to save money for college next year. That's his goal. How can you make it specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, timely? Pause me for a second and think about it, and then we'll play. Okay, hopefully you're back. For saving money for college next year, Michael needs a set amount of money. He needs to know how much the college is going to cost. So hopefully you thought of that. You need some more specifics in there. He does have a time frame for next year. Is it achievable? I'm not sure. He didn't put like a dollar figure on it, so I don't know how much money we're even talking here. Is it $1,000? Is he going to save $10,000? I have no idea. So hopefully you came up with some similar conclusions. And then let's try Michael's buying a new computer in January too. All right, pause me for a second. Think about it. Is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it timely? Is it relevant? Try it out and then hit play again. Okay, and then we're back. Buying a new computer in January. Well, it's kind of similar to our MP3 player here. At least we have a date now, January, so we have a time frame, but we don't have much in the way of specifics. So it's hard to measure. I guess you would measure in January if you bought a new computer, but it's hard to like really get a sense of am I accomplishing my goal if you don't have something really specific in mind. Okay, so let's remember our specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely or time-bound acronym here for when we're doing our financial goals as well. So let's talk now a little bit about prioritizing. We've got a couple of different ways to think about goals. We have long-term goals, more than a year. We've got short-term goals. We've got medium-term goals. So each of those hopefully will build on each other. Like the short-term goal should lead to the medium-term goal. The medium-term goals should lead to your long-term goals. And hopefully they build on each other so that by the time you end up achieving your long-term goals, you've had a plan in place and you don't just shoot for the long-term goal and it's so far out of reach that you don't know how to get there. So it's really important to think about if you have some long-term goals, say going to college is a long-term goal, that you have some medium goals, in 3 months to a year, I need to be doing these things. I need to be saving money. I need to be thinking about what computer I'm going to buy. I need to make sure I have good grades. And then the short-term goals, are things you can do like right now to help yourself out. In order to get those good grades, I might need to attend this tutoring session. In order to make sure that I have this computer that I'm going to need for college, then I need to make sure that I'm working in my job and it's not interfering with my school. Those sorts of things. One great way to prioritize your goals is to scale them. I'm sure you've done this with myself. I'm sure you've done this a bit with Miss White too. We're always talking about, on a scale of 0 to 10, and rating yourself on those scales. So you can do that too with your smart money goals. So on a scale of 1 being not at all to 5 being extremely important, how important is achieving this particular goal to me, whether it's a short term or a long term or a medium term. Okay, so your challenge now is to create some SMART goals that have to do with financials. Try and see if you can do a short-term one, a medium-term one, and a long-term one. Or maybe do one about college, maybe one about your personal finances, get creative, but use the specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound SMART goals in order to help yourself achieve whatever goal you've set out to accomplish. And then once you're done with that, make sure that you also scroll down past this video and click on the post test as well. Thanks, guys. And when you have questions, you know how to contact me. So let me hear your questions, okay? All right, everybody, we'll talk soon.